Today's Bible study is going to be talking in regards to being covetous or coveting something. It relates to the yearning to possess something or to have something, and it can also be someone, somebody's wife, girlfriend, husband, boyfriend, whatever it may be, but you try to have what is not yours. And if it wasn't given to you, you shouldn't be trying to take it away from someone. And we've all dealt with this. If you look at Exodus 20:17, which is where your Ten Commandments are at in Exodus, you should not covet your neighbor's house. You should not covet your neighbor's wife or his male servant or his female servant or his ox or his donkey or anything that belongs to your neighbor. Coveting is prohibited. So you shouldn't be trying to have anything that anybody else has. And one of the things that you should know is coveting will keep you out of heaven. For this you know with certainty, and this is Ephesians 5:5. I'm sorry, Ephesians 5:5. For this you know with certainty that no immoral or impure person or covetous man who is an idolater has an inheritance in the kingdom of Christ and God. So it puts a distance between you and the Lord. Don't get caught into that. If you look at Mark 7:21 and 23, it says, for from within, that's inside of us, out of the heart of men proceed evil thoughts, fornications, thefts, murders, adulteries, deeds of coveting and wickedness, as well as deceit, sensuality, envy, slander, pride, and foolishness. All these evil things proceed from within and defile the man. When I look at some of the things when I was a young man that I would have coveted, I can remember wanting to date a girl that was somebody else's girl. I went through all of that, and we all go through something like that. There's somebody that we love, something that we loved, and somebody else had it. But the real strength comes from when you're content with what the Lord has given you. And sometimes that's hard because the heart, as you just heard me read, from within, out of the heart, this heart can be deceptive at times, proceeds the evil thoughts of men. So we shouldn't want those things. But when I look at the present day and age, I see people coveting attention. They're so starved to get the attention that somebody else is. I see women destroying themselves with these implants to enhance what God already gave them. And it's to look like somebody else or to get the attention of somebody else. Scott, truth of the matter is, you are already beautiful as you are. The Lord made us all a certain way for a certain reason. We are all not the same. We are not the same color. We're not the same height, size, weight, none of that. So don't try to be somebody that you are not. Because when you strive to be like Kardashian, and I'm just using them as an example because I see it, you're not being the way the Lord wants you to. You're coveting what they have because you think if I have that look and that everything else, that these other things will come to me. Don't think that way. You are special on your own. You don't have to want somebody else's things. And if you look at some of this coveting that I see in the urban community where drug dealers are trying to take territories or take a customer or hustle a customer, whatever you want to call it. If you look at that, all that's leading to death right now. You know, we are coveting things that we shouldn't covet, first of all, but then we covet things that right now are leading to death in our physical form. And I haven't even touched on the spiritual part yet. Gosh, we still killing the spiritual form. I'm looking at these deaths right now that are going, you in my hood, you in my this. There's no such thing as that. If you look at 1 Timothy 6:9-10, it says, but those who want to get rich, listen to this one, but those who want to get rich fall into temptation and a snare and many foolish and harmful desires, which plunge men into ruin and destruction. For the love of money is the root of all sorts of evil, and some, by longing for it, have wandered away from the faith and pierced themselves with many griefs. Starts in the top of the church, outside the church. We're all human. And when we start looking for all of these things, harmful things come out of these things because they are not of good. If they were good things would be coming from them. Like it says, if you have good fruit, you'll produce good fruit. This is bad fruit, and it can only produce bad fruit. So turn to God and leave that stuff alone. Leave it alone. And Proverbs 10:2, which is my last verse for tonight, it says, ill-gotten gains do not profit, but righteousness delivers from death. I just want you to know, if you get right with God, you'll be content with what you have. You'll be content with who you are. The Lord will tell you to work and earn yours. Somebody else having something, you might say the Lord is blessing them, and it might not even be the Lord blessing them. You might be worried that they shouldn't have got that and you should have, but that's not your call. Let the Lord be the Lord and do what we need to do so we don't covet. Hey, I don't want anybody to miss out on a chance to inherit the kingdom. There's nothing on this planet that anybody has that will even come close to the inheritance that you will receive. So remember that when you covet, you desire something that is not yours, and it leads you into a destructive way. And that goes for, like the verse said, the neighbors, anything. That's your brother and sister, anything that they have, anything. So just be aware of that. And God bless you and keep you. Amen.